To shift gears a little bit before we get back to COVID stuff, as we discussed many times during the presidency of Donald Trump, the humiliating and cartoonish nature of Trump led to many of our historical allies being distanced from the United States. Canada, France, Germany, others. The U.S. was increasingly not a part of major global discussions on important issues, climate, of course, being one of them. Why on earth would a Trump led United States be part of climate discussions when Trump said climate change was a hoax created by the Chinese? Allies talk to each other, but they increasingly did not involve Trump and the United States. And the reputation of the U.S. was in the toilet, a toilet that Trump was flushing 10 to 15 times. Remember that? Our reputation was in the toilet. And exactly as predicted, the reputation of the U.S. is coming back quite quickly. I got a lot of phone calls during the transition period from Trump to Biden saying, do you think we will recover our reputation quickly? And I said, I think we will, because much of the world is eager for a non-cartoonish president. And the U.S. popularity has improved significantly in several countries since Joe Biden took office. This is data from the latest Morning Consult poll. Looking at the list of countries, our standing abroad has increased dramatically in Germany, where our favorability has almost doubled from 24 to 46%. Germany is followed by Japan and France, where our favorability has gone from 36 to 55 and 29 to 46, respectively. Now, to be clear, these are not exactly stellar numbers. Despite major improvements, 37% of Germans, 22% of Japanese, 29% of French see the U.S. negatively. Never mind other countries like Canada. 47% of Canadians see the United States negatively. But the point is, what is happening in the real world actually does get paid attention to, and it has an impact abroad. It's not a capricious negativity about the United States. Trump out and favorability increases significantly. Now, anecdotally, Americans are also less stressed day to day because the former president, was always at risk of making some horrifying blunder and unleashing global shame and embarrassment upon us. We no longer worry about that. As important as it is to realize that our reputation does respond very directly to who is the president and to what the president is doing, it's also important to realize that this could happen again. Most Republicans still like Trump. Most Republicans still believe Trump won in November, if you can believe that. And most Republicans would vote Trump back today if given the chance. Despite the successes of Joe Biden in his first 100 days, vaccination, COVID stimulus, rehabilitating to some degree the global reputation of the country, I'm hearing from friends and relatives in a variety of countries, including France, Belgium, Argentina, where I was born, Israel. It's primarily a feeling of relief that Trump is gone. And relief gets you part of the way, but it doesn't get you all of the way back to a recovery in reputation. Sadly, most of the world understands what in this country, nearly half of Americans don't understand, which is it's objectively bad for us and everyone else to elect an incompetent buffoon like Donald Trump. It really shouldn't be done again, but it might be if they get a say and if they're able to suppress the vote enough in 2024. Remember, they didn't suppress it enough in 2020. They tried, but they failed. If they succeed at voter suppression to a greater degree in 2024, Trump could be back or someone like him. Now, lastly, just because Joe Biden is restoring our reputation to some degree and doing good things doesn't mean bad things don't still happen. They do, and we have to keep paying attention, which is exactly what we're doing. In a sense, boring politics is good, but it can lead to complacency as a result. And that is exactly how Donald Trump ended up coming to power. Nah, he has no shot at the Republican primary. Oh, he won the Republican primary? Well, there's no way that he can beat Hillary. I don't even know if I'll vote because it's just not going to be necessary to defeat Donald Trump. Oh, Trump beat Hillary? Well, then what? Boring should not mean we don't pay attention, but it's okay for it to mean less constant stress about which rights is the president trying to take away from people or media or from whomever. We are going to continue following the reputation of the United States around the world, much improved in many countries, but nowhere near where we should want to be. Let me know your thoughts. You can find me on Twitter at Pakman. And boy, do we have a good show for you today. I think we should actually record and keep today's show, which is not what we always do because today's is actually a pretty good one.